Yes, what's going on? Happy Hurricane Day. New York was supposed to get a hurricane today. Turned out to not be so bad. At least not in my area. Anyway, today we got another trial video for you. This one came by request. One of my stream viewers asked if I could put together a team that could take care of the two-headed dragon EXT in one turn. And I was like, no. Because it has a break gauge, and you need to get rid of that first. So I said I could do it in 2 turns. I'll figure it out. And we did just that. So let's go check it out. We got to scroll down all the way to it. So Scorn of the two-headed dragon EXT. Oh, let's get ourselves some energy back. So what we have here is a very tricky, difficult, annoying fight. But we're doing this without a friend unit. So you can feel free to bring whoever you like. I'm going to bring an Aerith on this run, but we didn't do any other... I'm going to look for an Aerith that is in Brave Shift form. If we can find one, I'm going to bring her. Can't find one, no big deal. Oh, actually, you know what? We might not be able to do this with an Aerith because of the gear requirements. So... Hey, you know what? Never mind. We won't do it with a friend this time. But you can get a friend built up for you or take your own unit if you'd like. Okay, so here's this is a tricky fight. There's going to be a lot of switching back and forth from Brave Shift to normal, normal to Brave Shift. So here's the general idea. You want ffbe to cover the single target magic attack. So she's geared for Spirit, like way more than HP. Spirit just to survive 180% ice resistance and 180% light resistance. Everybody's going to be geared for 180% light resistance. So with the ice, she'll cover, and you want to make sure she has 100% draw attacks too, right? So, like I said, your gear doesn't have to be this. Whatever gives you 180 ice resist, 180 light resist, and 100% draw attacks is what you want on ffbe, okay? Brave Shift form has nothing. We're never even going to go into Brave Shift. Throw an Esper on her that is non-damaging, such as Golem or Lakshmi or Fenrir, whatever. Actually, Fenrir might actually be a better pick for this. Okay, so there you go. She's geared for this resistance without relying on the Esper. So as you can see, maybe I'm wrong. Since when do we get light resist with Golem? That's weird. Or is it that we just get a light penalty with Fenrir? Yeah, that's probably it. Anyway. So there's her gear. Now we're going to go to Skye. Skye is the main damage dealer here. And in her normal form, we're using her normal form LB for this one. So she's got the Wandering Knight's Lance. Wind Elemental Weapon. You don't have to use a Wind Elemental Weapon here. Because we're going to be imbuing Wind with Bart's anyway. So if you have like the Emotional Lance or something, you could use this. But I do recommend that you use a Wind Elemental weapon on her, such as this spear, if you don't have her LB fully maxed out. If you don't have her LB fully maxed out, it won't fill all the way up at the start of a fight, and then you're going to have to do things a little differently with Bart's and give up the Wind Imbue. But everything can still work just fine without it. Without either way, it's still going to work. So you just use your best gear for LB damage and... attacks against a dragon. I don't even have any like killers or anything on her here. And obviously this vision card, you don't have to use this one. The EX3 Tifa card. You can use, pretty much any card you want. This, honestly, we're only using this for the 50% LB damage. That's all it's giving us. And the 125 attack. So you can use any other vision card that also gives something similar to that. And like I said, I think this thing's going to die, like, 2 times over even without that card. You could just use a different card. So in her Brave Shift form, she is dual wielding 2 katanas, non-elemental, and she's got 180% light resistance. This is what you want on everybody, 180% light resistance. And we're using the katanas because she has a move that allows her to break gauges, right? But this one only gives her, increased damage. With the spear, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna. We're not even using this with her. This was my original build on the first try, so we didn't even end up using any of this stuff. So I just left her gear the same. So really, you only just gear her for 180% light resist. I'm just remembering this now. You don't need her to have the katanas at all. Right? So give her Odin as your Esper. So Akstar and Gilgamesh here, right? They're your breakers. They're the ones that are going to take down the break gauge right away. So they're both equipped, dual-wielded with 2 katanas, non-elemental. Also important, make sure you have a way to fill the Esper gauge at the start of a fight. I do recommend that you do it with gear instead of, taking, like Luna Freya or somebody. I suggest you do it with the Bahamut synergies and stuff, so they're split up among the characters. 180 light resist. 180 light resist. In his Brave Shift form, he's going to be switching almost immediately. So he's our breaker. He's got 2 katanas in the Brave Shift form. And 180 light resist, right? So we're just going to be switching him to Brave Shift form, like, immediately. In fact, we could just start him in it. Bartz. Another important character here. So we're doing, in both forms, I think, 180 light resist, right? He's pretty much got the same gear in both forms. Just 180% light resist. Start him off in his base form. Very important. Start him off in the base form so his LB is full. We need that. Especially if we need it if your Skye LB is... Well, you need it either way. You need him in his base form to start the fight. So you're either going to entrust Skye or you're going to use his LB to imbue wind on everybody. But the only one who's actually getting the imbue here is Skye. These two are going to be using a wind elemental chaining move anyway. That's locked to win. That's why they're using non-elemental weapons. And Bartz is going to only... You only need to imbue if she doesn't have a wind elemental weapon. And her LB isn't maxed out. So now me, I'm a little mix of both here. So my LB is maxed out, so it's going to be full right away for me. And I already have the wind weapon. But if I had the emotional lance or something, I would need that imbue. So anyway, let's check it out. So what the 2-headed dragon does is he summons the 2 heads to start off the fight. Okay. Here we go. Now, the body is going to use single target ice elemental attacks, and that's why you want ffbe to have that ice resistance up to 180%. He's going to lower her resistance by 80%. Then one of the heads is going to go after everyone, AoE, with light damage. That's why everybody has 180% light resistance, because we couldn't really slot in another tank here to AoE, physical cover. I mean, we could have, I guess, because we have that free slot, but we're just doing it this way instead. So what we do right at the start, we're going to do triple hero with Peerless Katana here, Secret Art, Peerless Katana. With Akstar, it's going to be Lethal Mind, right? With Gilgamesh and Akstar. You're going to target the body. You're going to let him rip. Boom. They take down that break gauge really easy, right? Now, Bartz, he's just going to shift to his Brave Shift. Now, if you don't have Skye's LB all the way maxed out, and not level 40 yet, stay in normal form and entrust her first. Otherwise, just do this. And we're going to do Blessed Wind Crystal here, Raging Winds. This gives everybody a wind-locked AR chain. That will be cast twice because they're dual-wielding. Both of our attackers here, which is going to be Akstar and Gilgamesh on round 2. And we have, just do that, any other buff there with him, with her. Him, her, them, whatever. Fina and Daisy can just defend until round 2, because we're going to fill up the rest of that Esper gauge. Now Skye's going to switch to a Brave Shift form. She's just going to do her 3 different buffs, the Spear in Peril, the Wind in Peril, and the Dragon Killer buff. So, we're targeting the body again to make sure that it gets the Spear in Peril. There we go. So there you go. She blocks all the ice elemental attacks. Now all the light elemental attacks. Nobody takes any damage. We're all good. So now we're going to use this Wind's Wake move that Bartz has given us. With them, we're going to use his LB to imbue wind. Like I said, we don't really need that in this fight with my team because my character, my Skye, already has a wind elemental weapon equipped. If she didn't, we would need that imbue, but we don't really need it. But we're using it anyway. So now, Skye's going to shift back to normal and use her Raging Sky Bomber LB here. It's an AoE LB. ffbe just summons an Esper, and then you just like kind of use them all at the same time. And these bad boys are all going to get dropped. Real easy. Oh, alright. It should have been 2 point something billion damage here. Yeah, 2.7. Very good. Right? The heads only have 100 million, and the body only has 800 million. So like I said, even without all that like really high-end top-end gear, you could probably still do this pretty easily with this team. And like I said, you do have a free party slot that you get to use because not using 6 people is not part of this mission. So no items evoke an Esper and defeat within 20 turns. Complete the quest. So that's done. So you have that other, like if you have an Aerith that can do a 180 light resist, then you could just put her in there, have her pop her LB for that 400% buff, 250% LB damage buff, and then it becomes even easier. But yeah, that was one I was thinking about doing for a while. One of my stream viewers brought it to my attention, was like, "Oh, can you do that one?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'll do it next. I'll skip ahead. Whatever else I was going to do, I'll do it next." And that's a fun. It was fun figuring it out. Took us a little while on stream to get the whole team all solidified there, but it was fun. And Skye's really powerful. All right, guys. See you later.